Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about stage one of your build up. So stage one will be this section of the pitch here. So when the ball is received in these sort of areas of the pitch, which is your defensive third. Now, what I want to talk about is, now let's say you're getting pressed by, I'm just going to put them in a generic 4-3-3. So let's say you're getting pressed by 4-3-3 formation. So we get your three attackers there, followed by your three midfielders here also. Now, for argument's sake, we can say the ball is with this defender here. In this situation, how I would want my team would be my left back here, my centre backs here, my right back here. As I was talking earlier, you know, you're with your wing backs, they'll be looking to progress the pitch. So my right back already here, looking for the option when we do break the line to be pushing up, to be hitting this half space area, making his runs in and around, or wider if we decide to play into his area here. This will be my deep line playmaker, my box-to-box midfielder, my number 10, right wing inverted, striker, and the left wing. So what I would look to do is I would look to play the ball between my defenders. So I want my defenders to be playing the ball between them to initiate the pressing from the opposition. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the ball moving to either one of our pivots. Now, our pivots need to be good with, now let's say if we move the ball from here to here, they need to be good at moving between the lines, because when we start getting pressed, if they can open up, because now if we're getting pressed here, ball can go there and then find him here. Press gets initiated here. He'll be moving up here, and if he decides to move, he'll move here. So now he has the option to go here, or he has the option to go wider here. Now, if he has the option to go here, our number 10, our magic man, looks to come into this area here, and we get him the ball, and he'll have the space between the lines to then turn and attack that back line and allow everybody to push up. So our main focus should always be to get the ball to one of these pivot players here and allow them to pass between one another to really get the opposition to press into us. And once they've pressed in, and once they've kind of taken the bait, press them in, and then you'll notice that the lines between where their high block is and then their back four, even if I just put a generic again, back four here, there will be that space between the lines. So what we'll do here is your striker will look to stay up top to pin these guys back so they don't occupy this middle space. Maybe we'll have our striker pin down one of these, our left wing pin him down, our right cam look to pin him down, and our right wing look to pin him down. Now, we've got the back line exactly where we want them. Remember, just like chess, we've got them here away from this midsection here. By the passing between these guys here, it's now allowed for the opposition to press high. Now, what you'll notice is numerically, you're going to be overloaded. So there's 5 of you against 6 of them. But with the quick passing and the intricate play between, you'll be able to find the gaps, because all you need is just quick passing to draw them in, and then allowing your number 10 to come anywhere between the lines here and pick that ball up. It might even be the case of centre back to pivot back to, from this person here to pivot back here, and then your number 10's coming here. Or even if your number 10's coming in behind here, he's looking to maybe move that ball across to bring the opposition this way, so we can get that ball across into him here through the line, and then giving him the space to turn, and again, just keep attacking that, keep attacking the opposition. Right, now that's if they do it on a high press, okay? Now let's talk about a low press. Let's talk about what that does with the team. So again, I'm just going to move everybody back to their positions. Let's say that the back three don't want to step in, you know, then they're not trying to step in here. They want to keep that sort of low intensity press. Sorry, I've just lost my pivot. There we go. So they want to keep that low intensity press. They want to occupy spaces more than they want to attack and man mark here. So how, again, will we break out of these areas? So again, if the ball's here with this player here, making that pass into the pivots, again, you need to see how the opposition react. Now, if they react by maybe sending a front man in this way and then another man here to try and cut off your number 10, it needs to be identified by your team that, right, okay, they've confined here, but their back line's still sitting deep. What we're looking for is striker to try and get his run in. And evidently, if he does, then we play that ball across through him here. And maybe if he does get tracked here, it will still free up the 10 to do his thing. And even if in the event that they decide to move him down here to cover the 10, look at all the space then opened up here to play that ball across into these spaces here. So even if they do sit deep, we are in a great position to still break that line because we're playing that 5 up top. That back line of 4 are going to be difficult. And even if they decide to then, you know, go back and go man to man with to our front 5, sorry. Now all of a sudden we've got spaces here that if a ball gets played into, sorry, if a ball gets played now into here, and then they decide to press here, well, we've now got the option to then move across here. And what I would suggest is to move across here like this, and then bring this player back into here. Now you might be thinking, why is that? That's only in the event that once we look to move this ball here, if they decide to press up here, maybe take this, and now we're in a position where, okay, cool, we just come back. We've still got our back 3 here. You know, we've still got our back 3. He'll just pick up a pivot position here instead, and we still play that back 3 again, and just look to find the area where we can maybe make that pass. So even if a pass gets played to him here from this position, and then maybe he gets triggered here, or even if he doesn't get triggered and we make this run here with this player, I would ask this person to invert, because remember, we don't want to be taking up the lanes. So now balls from here to here, he's moved in here. Let's say even if he doesn't move, these two, even if they do decide to move in, he's here, his option to pass will be here. Even if he steps up, he's got this option now. So it's pinning him, because once he inverts here, he's more likely to stick with him. And even if he doesn't, like I said, then we have the option to come in here and play these passes. Ball gets played here, and then we look to progress this line here. We look to break here, because now, again, we're in the numerical advantage where we've gone from a 5-on-5 to now a 6-on-5. So there's always that extra play that we're putting in to make them have to deal with those 2v1 situations. Now, let's say the opposition decide to go man-to-man. So again, this is back to your original back 3, your 2 centre-backs, your left-back. And the opposition, let's do them as a... Let's do them as a standard 4-3-3. We'll do it as a standard 4-3-3 for the argument's sake, and put them in a neutral back 4. So we got our striker looking to pin, wide man, then our 10. Now in this position, let's say the opposition decide to go man to man. So each man on a player here, and they might decide to bring a man in, and then have one occupy the middle and have a man in here. Now, what we need to do in these situations is we want to identify a pivot that we want to play that ball to. So let's say it's this pivot here. And as they're being man marked, we need to overload that man mark straight away with a second player. Because what that will help us do is that third man where we're going to get it to him, but we're going to bounce it off. So he comes in again with his man mark here. This pivot's identified that they're doing a man mark. Right, I'm going to move over to him here. So he can receive, play me, even if the 10 comes in, I play the 10. Now all of a sudden we're in all this space here, because by the time he receives, he'll decide to come in, and then the 10 can pick up the ball in all this lovely space here. And straight away you want to hit with striker looking to go here. Maybe even if the 10 decides to come in here and pick it up, straight away, if we notice that we're on this side, maybe the striker can come in here, look to pick up his space, letting the ram come in here, and then he can also come in here. Now all of a sudden they've got to go man to man, while also having their team out here that aren't involved. So now we're overloading them again in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 4. So they have to not only worry about the 10 who's on the ball, but also these running behinds by all these players. So that's that there. So remember, if they're man marking, you want to overload them, make that third man, build that double pivot here so the ball can come in, bounce off, and then progress. Either he can progress himself, allowing a 6-on-5 to really attack them, or if we're trying to play it a bit more conservative in the sense of we don't want to risk maybe this one-on-one here and losing it, especially if he comes tight. If he comes tight, I'd always play the ball to the 10. If the 10 needs to understand that the minute they do the overload here, and then he receives the ball, if this person triggers their run to try and close him down as quick as possible, they need to free themselves up in this space here to receive that ball. And if they don't, then we can look to allow our box-to-box to really push up, and then everybody else to kind of push up in behind the lines, maybe stick a defender down, look to make runs in and behind, play a ball through, and you're in that 6v5. So that playing out from the back is that sort of Brighton, the Zerbi move where you're allowing players to come in and get sucked into your press. And if they are high pressing, like I said before, about finding that gap here for your number 10 to roam around and come in between the lines. And then you've also got the Pep's idea of your double pivots coming in. But it's very easy here on how you can go against a high press, a man-to-man, and a low press. It's very easy on how you can break down those three different ways that teams will play against you in this scenario. And even if you play against a team that are constantly changing themselves, well, you've got the answer to every single change that they can make. So that's stage one. That's concluded. I don't want to overload with too much information. So stay tuned for stage two, where we're going to be talking about more positional play and transitioning out in other ways, maybe from a goal kick, how we're going to structure our team, how we want to set up, how we're going to build our shape. And if you remember earlier in another video, I said how we're going to use this side of the pitch a lot more than this side. And this side is going to be used for a lot more intricate passing, allowing us to free up this side for those balls in behind. I'll explain that in the next video in stage two. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stick around for the next one.